Hello. Okay, let's talk about lab work before you start your bee venom therapy journey. So, first thing that I would say is that lab work is essential before you start your bee venom therapy journey. I get asked this question a lot as people ask me, how did you know what was going on with your body, before you started bee venom therapy? And the honest answer is because I did the comprehensive Heal Hive lab tests, and we found a lot of things that my doctors were missing. Even my doctors at Stanford, when I come back to them and say, look, this is the lab work that I have, we missed this. They're like, how did you know this? And it's honestly because of the Heal Hive lab work. So that's the first thing that I would say, is that lab work is essential to your road to recovery from Lyme disease. It's the first thing that you should do. The next thing that I will say is, what confidence did I have after I got my lab work done? And what confidence does that give me for my bee venom therapy journey? Well, the confidence that I have because I have my lab work it's what guides everything that I do now in my health. If I think that I'm ready to sting, or I'm feeling like I'm feeling better, I check my labs. I don't just guess. I don't just think that I'm feeling better or I've detoxed from mold all the way. I check the actual lab markers and make sure that what I'm feeling is also backed up by my lab work. So it gives me so much confidence, and it is the thing that I turn to all the time is my lab work. I promise you, it's the number one thing that you will need to do. I have been through, I'm sure you have too, so much lab work, like 28 vials of blood at one time kind of lab work. And I know that so many of you out there have been through the same thing or worse. And I'm telling you that you will not be running the same labs that you have done. That the Heal Hive has so many labs that they run that a lot of doctors don't even know to run. So it's really critical before you start bee venom therapy. And another thing is, even if I never started bee venom therapy, I would have gotten so much value out of the Heal Hive lab work. So I could honestly cry just telling you the story, but personally, from the Heal Hive lab work, we found out that my fertility was really low for a 27-year-old. And we can get into the whole story about why that is and being chronically sick and how those things happen. But the point is that my husband and I were able to see on paper what was going on and make critical decisions about our future. And I would have never known that if it weren't for Brooke and her team and these labs. And the last thing that I will say before I jump off is, if you are pursuing bee venom therapy and you're not getting your lab work done, I would tell you from the bottom of my heart, do not do it. You need to get your lab work done. It's so important. You need to know and not just guess, but actually test and figure out what's going on with your body before you add another protocol to yourself. So just know that test, not guess, okay? And it is so important. And I see people all the time starting bee venom therapy without getting these comprehensive lab works done. And I feel really awful for them because they run into a lot of roadblocks that the Heal Hive teaches you about that will happen if you don't get your lab work done. So I promise you, this is the one thing that is the most essential to going back to your health, to restoring your health, to finding freedom again in your life. I promise this is the one thing. So make sure you do it, and don't start bee venom therapy before you go through the comprehensive Heal Hive lab testing. Bye.